Well, a very good afternoon to you and welcome to the Farm Kenya show right here on KTN. My name is Noakip Kimboy, and as the world prepares to celebrate International Youth Day, it is very interesting when we look in the agricultural sector. When you look at the population, our country is fairly young. 19 years on average, that is our median age. But when you look at the farming systems, especially at the production level, food production, 60% is the average age of a farmer in this country. Hopefully it's gone down because some of these statistics also, they were collected a few years back. But the big question is, why are young people not flooding the agricultural ecosystem, the whole value chain? We call it agribusiness. Make money, create employment in that space. Those are the questions that we'll be answering on today's show. And of course, I have Wairimu Mushai, Head of Business Development at Aqua Hub Kenya. Thank you very much, Wairimu, for making time to speak to us. When you talk about youth and farming, you guys operate from Aqua Hub Kenya. Briefly tell us, what do you guys do at Aqua Hub Kenya, even before you contextualize it to young people?
My name is Werimo Moshai. I'm the head of business development at Aqua Hub Kenya, where we work with farmers across Kenya, dealing with irrigation systems, greenhouses, and solar dryers. That is, we help from getting increase in your production, and also we help in post-harvest losses, because so many people lose products when they harvest. So we give them a whole value chain from production to reducing the post-harvest losses.
Definitely, and post-harvest losses is quite a huge challenge in this country. I'm glad there is innovation in that space. Where you guys are doing farming in an ungodly way, you know. Agroecology is the God's way. but from your observation, how much interest are young people taking in agriculture? Just by observation, from where you stand?
By observation, I've been in the space for 9 years, in the agriculture space, and comparing it to the last 5 years, right now we have an increase in the uptake of youths joining agriculture, because we've broken the monotony of just production, and we've gotten into other value chains like logistics, cold chains, also in other value addition areas. So right now there is an increase, because oftenly when people refer youth in agriculture, they check the bracket of 20 years to 25 years, who most of them are not very serious in farming. But when we get to the age bracket of 26 years to 35 years, we see people who are diverse, ranging from production, we get into logistics, we get into different value chains, and this is where most of them are in at the moment, not the production level. Most youths are not in the production space because of the land issues. Maybe the dad is afraid of giving this young person the land. He thinks, or the parents think, that the young person might sell the land. So you find most of them don't have access to land. So that becomes a big barrier for them to be in the production. And that's why we are having innovative ways of these young people joining the space, like coming up with solar-powered cold rooms that they hire out, like having them getting a solar dryer. We have one in Moranga, a youth in Moranga, who rents out their solar dryer to the neighboring communities to dry their products. Then we find others are in the logistics, bringing products from the market to the farm. Not that they own the trucks, but they have a system where they're able to work closely with people having the trucks. They go aggregate the products, talk to these guys, they pay a certain price, bring them to the market. So that is where, away from the production where they have the land issue barriers, they are able to break into other spaces. But we still have a big issue in skill gap, in the knowledge gap, that they are not able to have the right knowledge to be able to be in these different value chains.
Okay.
Yeah.
Knowledge gap to be able to be in different value chains. Mushai, from your observation, this aspect of leasing and having more young people come at the production level or segment of agriculture, how do we do it effectively?
How to do it effectively? You see, in Kenya, we have like community-owned lands and we have individual-owned lands. So there is a challenge when it comes to, for instance, areas that are very productive and where people want to lease land, Like for instance, in Kajiado oftenly, and it's wide, you find the land is community owned. So there are these legal ways that you need the right paperwork. But you see some of the communities you're going to list the land from, they are not well versed with this thing. When you tell them, let's write down, I need to have all the paperwork, you find the challenge of, they say like, no, it's like you want to take my land. We've had an instance of one of our clients who, the person they were leasing land from thought they were taking away their land because they requested to have everything checked out, whether the land is theirs legally, and also if it's community land, we need to know who do we talk to be able to follow the right procedures. And you find these legal issues between community land acts and individual. We have a disparity in it, and it brings a lot of challenges to the people who want to list the land.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you should have your paperwork right.
Sure.
But do you see some of this, you enter something, you're burnt, and you step away? Is it something that is common from the hub, from your observation?
Yes, it's very common, where we've done greenhouses for clients, and the clients does one season, and then they leave it. First, also people get into farming from stories they watch. They visited a farm. When you visit my farm, I'll show you the success part of it. I will not show you the failures. And so when you leave my farm, will be, I really want to put my money into this project. And when the clients put up money in that first project, they don't get the returns they were expecting. So that keeps them off. So oftenly we have the challenge of, you get information, but it's limited information. So when you're getting into production, you're producing fast, not knowing where you're selling. And you see, I say agriculture is where you know where you're selling first before you get into the production. And so when you come and learn without getting the ABCs of when you start production to the last time where you get it into the market, you're not able to achieve what you wanted, like make enough profits. And this is a setback to so many farmers.
I see that. Shai, talk to me about some of this. Yeah, I know people grow their vegetables on their balconies, and they're like, I'm a farmer in Nairobi. Talk to me about some of the innovations that you're seeing.
Some of the innovations that we have around urban farming and generally farming, we have like hydroponic systems. With hydroponic, you can be able to produce food even in a very small space, like even 3 square feet. Because you see, you'll just need a small tank, a tower, and the seedlings, and it's soilless. So that is one of the innovations. Greenhouses, automated greenhouses is also an innovation where you are able to just have everything on an app, check your water, check your temperatures, and the farm is running without you being there physically. We also have automated irrigation systems where we have sensors that they sense the moisture levels in the soil, and it triggers all this. We also have like solar dryers where we are able to reduce post-harvest losses. All these are innovations, and you see we have them in different value chains across the food system, from the production to make your work easier. We have it in storage, cold rooms. We also have it in the drying systems, and this makes agriculture attractive to youths, that they, even if you're a primary producer, you're using systems that help you. We also have innovations, we always overlook this, but making work easier in the farm, like systems. Having systems that are working, not just systems, from how you manage the people and manage the farm. It's also an innovation where most farmers are not able to achieve this.
Okay.
Yeah. And also in terms of packaging, you see when you go to the supermarket, you walk in the aisle where things are attracting you in terms of their branding and packaging. And that is also an innovation where young people can be able to check into. And also in the logistics, you see when you're doing logistics, when you brand well, it becomes your brand. And the innovation in it is how fast I, as a customer, am I able to get the produce from the farm. So the process in between here is also an innovation in itself, not generally on how we are running the farm and producing and packaging everything.
Okay. I wanted to talk about policy, Shai. Looking at our agricultural systems and policies that dictate how we do agriculture in the country, look, recently there's been a policy instruction and directive to get off some products that are, that are not very good for health. That is from the government. And we see there is so much power in policy when it comes to making sure that more young people are coming into the agricultural value chain. Is there room for policy maneuver to sort of encourage youth to uptake agriculture and agribusiness?
At the moment, I would say our policies are right we have the right policies, but when it comes to monitoring and evaluation on how effective they have been, there is a big gap. So like now we had the directive of where we need to do away with the pesticides that are harmful to both people and our environments. But yes, it was said, have there been a follow-up to see how it's effective it's being followed? You see, we have a big gap. Apparently, I think in our country we have some of the very best policies, although some we still have gaps that we need to look into, especially when it comes to putting the youth perspective into the picture. But also the biggest gaps comes in how we are enforcing them to the people who are supposed to check out, and also in the monitoring and evaluation on how effective have we been able to put these policies into place.
Okay.
Like recently we had the second agroecology symposium, and they talked, it was the second year in after the adoption of the national agroecology policy. At least with that, we've seen several counties taking up and putting it in their counties and following up on how best they can be able to put into place the national agroecology policies in the county levels. But when we come to the big policies, that is the national policies, you find we have now the disparity on how they're enforced, because agriculture, I think, is default, and you find it's not being followed to the latter. And putting the youth voice into it, you find many youths don't know which policies exist. Maybe it's our ignorance to follow up, but also we don't have it being voiced up that we have this this policy, and this is the aspect about it when it comes to youth in farming or youth in agriculture. So we have such a big disparity on monitoring and evaluation and checking out on how we roll out these policies to reach the grassroots levels.
Definitely follow up.
Yes.
It's good on paper, but kwa ground,
vitu ni
different. Yeah. Okay. As we finish up this conversation, our time has really gone. But thank you very much, Wairimu. Wairimu Mushai is the head of business development at AquaHub Kenya. Asante sana. But that's it, even as we gear, as the whole world prepares to mark the International Youth Day come tomorrow. Young people have a space when it comes to agribusiness and agricultural value chain. However, challenges are there, but challenges are meant to be overcome. Thank you very much for staying with Farm Kenya over the past 1 hour. My name is Noah Kipkemboy. Bye-bye.